What's going on, everybody? Who's ready for a beer? I think I'm ready for a beer. I'm excited for this one. I feel like today's is going to be pretty good. I think this is the first beer that I'm actually reviewing from Levante. Because I've had some other stuff, like I went on the Shed Time podcast and did one from Levante, and I've had some before I started doing reviews, but now, first one to be reviewed. So I'm excited. This one should be pretty damn good. I'm hoping it is. Up, 3 o'clock, people. Let's do this. Boom. What is going on, everybody? Happy Sunday to you all, and welcome to another live beer review. Today, we got a very kind of, I don't want to say that this is a special one, but this is one that I've been pretty excited for. It's been sitting downstairs, and I finally brought it up to be in this week's rotation. But today, we're going to be looking at some D.O.P.E, the D.O.P.E Triple IPA from Levante Brewing Company. D.O.P.E actually stands for something. It's a very complex phrasing. I know I put it in the actual link of this. So it's D.O.P.E stands for Doctrine of Phonetic Equivalence. I have no idea what that means, but it sounds sophisticated and it sounds complex. So I'm guessing that might be incorporating what this beer. It's going to be a very complex, nice triple IPA. But this is comes out at 11.7%, and this is another cryo hopped IPA. So with this one, they used Cryo Mosaic, Cryo Simcoe, and Cryo Citra. So I'm expecting a lot of pine notes in this. I'm thinking there's going to be a lot of really smooth kind of creaminess because there's lactose in this as well. But I just want tropical berry pine dankiness in my face for a nice kind of slightly boozy and creamy 11.7%. So I'm excited about this one. So let's crack this guy open and see what this guy's all about. let's see what we get on the smell with this one. Oh yeah, definitely some nice citrus notes. Definitely getting like a lot of pineapple coming off the nose, which always love. Getting definitely a little bit of like a boozy smell to it. Mostly just getting that kind of pineapple, mango, like citrus kind of note going there, which that's kind of like what I really enjoy about a nice IPA. Yeah, I'm guessing this could be nice and hazy, so let's pour this guy. I'll be drinking out of my untapped pint glass this afternoon. Let's see how this guy pours. Nice little bit of head. Nice little slightly white head going there. Not too, I guess you could see, yeah, it's pretty hazy. But yeah, look at that. It looks absolutely delicious, if I say so myself. It has like a slightly kind of like darker orange kind of color to it. Definitely get more of those like piney kind of dank notes coming out when I pour it. Still a lot of that like pineapple mango situation there. Yeah, that's smells absolutely delicious. So let's try this guy. So cheers, everybody. Oh yeah, wow, that is just, holy crap, is that good. So right off the bat, getting the nice kind of creamy kind of pineapple mango right up front. Has a nice like fruity berry note sitting there to kind of give it a nice sweetness. I think the malts in there are kind of balancing that out to kind of give it a nice smooth mouthfeel. It's creamy AF when it comes to the mouthfeel. No really oiliness to it whatsoever. And it's just, wow. That is smooth, creamy, hoppy deliciousness. Yeah, that's fantastic. You really can't even tell this is an 11.7. That's how smooth it is. So, but right off the bat, creamy mango with pineapple going up there, adding the berries, like maybe like a strawberry kind of mixing it with the malts there to give it like a nice balance of sweetness. Yeah, that's absolutely delicious. There's always that nice hoppy dank kind of flavor that gets in there. What the hell? See, beer sitting in the beard, but that's okay. But holy crap, is that good. This is probably one of the smoothest 11.7% I think I've had when it comes to a triple IPA. The cryo hops kind of gives it that different kind of flavor to it. I don't know, when something is cryoed, when it comes to like they use CO2 to pretty much freeze the stuff at like the peak of freshness, so it's like you're wet aging a hops, but they freeze it right when it's at that peak of just they're not drying it, they're just freezing it and then kind of sealing in all the flavors that the hops gives out, and then when they brew it, comes out with this absolutely fantastic creamy beer. Wow, that is, you get a slight booziness, but it's not too like over the top, because you're expecting it to be like a little bit more boozy because it's at 11.7, but slightest amount of booziness, not really boozy at all. So let's kind of talk about Levante really quick, kind of figure out what they're all about. So it all started with a 3-gallon homebrew kettle inside a college apartment. Early experimentation led to leaps of faith by the founding members, who scaled their ambitions to a 15 BBL brew house at 208 Carter Drive. So kind of turned into a little brew house after years of kind of trial and error and a college apartment, which I always like to see. But then after years of planning, our tap room doors swung open for the first time in 2015. The cornerstone of inspiration came from a trip to a rustic Italian vineyard by our founding member and brewmaster Tim Floros. He fell in love with the drinking atmosphere in Italy, where customer interaction, quality focused, and are paramount. We continue to refrain from TVs in our tap room, though our 10-tap chalk menu has been upgraded to a 20-tap digital display. You can expect a new sensory adventure each trip to the tap room. So that's really cool how they kind of want to keep it outside of like the wheelhouse of just being like your normal tap house where there's like TVs going, sports going. They kind of want to get all of those interactions. They want to maximize the interaction, like kind of realm of being at the brewery and talking to the people behind the bar, and just having an overall great experience, which I am totally for. I'm not going to say I'm not against TVs being at a brewery or anything, because sometimes if you want to have that kind of atmosphere, you can. Now that I think about it, I don't think I've been to many breweries where there's like TVs and sports going on at all times. A lot of the times it's just music playing and gives people to like sit down, interact with each other, and just hang out and have a beer, which those are the kind of environments that I like when it comes to a brewery. So Levante's always had really good like quality beers. The names on their beers are always really unique and stuff. But coming from out of Pennsylvania, this one is definitely, I would say, one of their special ones, because even though they said you couldn't, when I was reading about this one, they said you weren't able to get this one outside of Pennsylvania and DC. But if you're lucky enough to be in the area where the brewery is, this beer is actually on tap over at the tap house right now. So if you're in the area of, where are they out of again? Specifically Westchester, Pennsylvania. So if you're anywhere near Westchester, Pennsylvania, you can go over to the tap house and drink this right now, which that's awesome. So knowing that I'm drinking a beer that, because sometimes I have situations where the beer I'm drinking isn't really available at the moment. You'd have to wait until the next release, or if they do another release on it. But knowing that I have a beer that you can go to the brewery right now and get it, that's a good kind of situation. So poured the bottom of the can in there. Definitely got a little bit of the sediment kind of floating around in there, which I'm perfectly okay with. You can see a little bit of stuff floating around. It got a little bit more hazy. But the flavors in here are fantastic. I think now that I pour the rest in there, kind of a little bit more like the sweetness from, I'm thinking like the Mosaic comes out a little bit more. Maybe like that berry kind of hoppy note mixing in with like the malts they use in here. Creates a really nice sweetness, along with that kind of hidden between that sweetness, you get the booziness that kind of sits in your throat. But overall, the tropical notes, the mango, the pineapple, along with those like piney kind of walking through a forest kind of notes as well, with the dank and the resiny kind of situations, are very, very well mixed in. It's very, very smooth, and it's just unbelievable. Hold on one sec. I'm going to mute myself because I got to blow my nose. Allergy season's coming along, so it's just been brutal. Absolutely brutal. Benadryl's been like my best friend these past like couple months. But yeah, they absolutely knocked it out of the park with this one. So if you want to get yourself a nice triple IPA that is as smooth as a baby's bottom, this is definitely one you want to get your hands on, because it's absolutely fantastic. Of course, you can find stuff from Levante over on Tavour. And if you haven't heard me talk about Tavour already, it's just a beer subscription service that it's difficult. It's hard to say where they're available. I know they're available in the northwest suburbs of Illinois. You can get them down in Dallas, Texas. I know they're around DC. You can get stuff from Tavour, and of course probably Seattle too, just because that's where Tavour is actually based out of the state of Washington. So, but Levante shows up on there every once in a while. So other than that, you can probably, of course, find them in local liquor stores or bottle shops around like the DC, Pennsylvania area. So if you want to get your hands on maybe some of this D.O.P.E triple IPA, you might be able to. So if you're around the DC, Pennsylvania area, you can probably get your hands on this, or you can go over to the tap house and drink it on tap, which is probably like the best experience you could ever get with that. But let's see what their shop looks like very quick before we start kind of go into our ratings and stuff. And it also says right on the top that they ship craft beer to Pennsylvania, Virginia, and DC residents. So if you're around those areas, you can get this beer shipped to you from them, which is also great. But they also have a beer finder tab, a little tab on the website where you can go in there and they'll be able to just kind of search to where you can find some Levante brews. I always suggest going on to the beer finders if you're looking to find new stuff. And who knows, you might find a wholesaler that actually distributes their stuff in your area. But when it comes to merchandise they have on their store, they have glassware, hats, hoodies, you name it. They have some nice little like the Restal Tekus glasses. Those are nice. Got the little Hop Cartel Revival glasses. They even got coffee mugs, which is really nice. But yeah, really, really cool glasses on their website. Definitely some unique ones. They got some tumbler glasses. I need to get my hands on a tumbler glass, to be honest. For some like those fruited sours I drink, or like a fruited Berliner Weiss, I've been looking to get my hands on a tumbler, just because it's very, very kind of it. Those are like, it kind of makes the beer look good when it comes to that kind of style of glass, but it's also with the shape. It kind of, when it comes to like having that tumbler / tulip shape to it, it's the best experience you can have for drinking it with a beer. So just because of oxygen getting in and all that kind of stuff, there's a very big science when it comes to the shape of the glass when it comes to flavor. So always recommend, if you don't have like a regular pint glass for an IPA, you can always drink it out of like a tulip or a tumbler glass. You're going to get probably the maximum amount of flavor you can get out of those. Or you can just get like your rather regular pint glasses where it's the kind of the curved top situation. But yeah, really cool glassware. Got some shirts, hoodies, you name it. So let's start going down our ratings here. And actually, before we do that, let's see what Untapped has to say about this guy. Let's see. So the D.O.P.E Triple Cryo Lactose IPA is, like I said before, it's 11.7% ABV with 45 IBUs, which I can see it's not really much of like a bitterness going in there, so definitely lower on the IBU rating, but still creamy, hoppy, smooth AF. It's delicious. And with over 2,598 rating, this one has an average rating of 4.21 out of 5 on Untapped, which, with having over 2,500 ratings, having over a 4 is very, very good. So let's see. Somebody gave this a 4.25 out of 5. Another 4.25. Let's see. Somebody gave it a 3.75. Checked it in at a campground, it looks like. They got a taster of it. Let's see. A 4 out of 5. 4.5. Purchased at Levante. So you can get this probably in cans at Levante as well. 4.25. Let's see, 4.25. 5 out of 5 saying they love this beer, so they're a big fan of this one. Let's see, 4 out of 5. Let's see, 4.25, 4.5, 4.25. Yeah. And then we got another 4.5 here saying, this beer always kicks ass. I'm so excited when it's available. Just a punch of juicy, dank hop oil in every sip. Can also feel myself relaxing more and more with every sip. Perfect beer for a perfect, beautiful evening. I cannot agree more, to be honest. Everything about this one is just absolutely what I look for when it comes to like a nice triple IPA. The citrus notes in here are spot on. Like the dank, piney notes are just there enough to where you know you're drinking a nice triple IPA. It's smooth, it's creamy with the lactose. It's everything that I look for in a nice, creamy IPA, and they knocked it out of the park. Absolutely. So let's start going off our ratings here. Can art. Yeah, I really like this can art. Very colorful. Definitely appealing to the eye with the amount of colors on there and with the D.O.P.E. I don't know if you could see it, but they kind of showed the abbreviations inside the lettering. I know you probably won't see it because the light kind of thing, but there's actually a little bit of, kind of get a little bit of it, but it kind of gives you like what the D.O.P.E. stands for on the can, which is really cool. Of course, you have the token like Levante logo on the top. And yeah, can art's awesome. They made sure that all the real estate they took up on here was pretty much used for kind of grabbing your attention with all the colors they use, kind of that rainbow situation. So I'm a really big fan of that. So I'm going to give this a solid like 4.5 out of 5 when it comes to can art. This is one that would definitely catch my attention when it comes to seeing it at a liquor store or bottle shop for sure. Really, really nice. Let's see. If I got this beer and a flight at Levante, would I get another one? Abso-freaking-lutely. Easily one of the top, easily the best beer I've had for Levante so far, to be honest. It hits every note that I want it to have. For being such a smooth triple IPA, having those creamy flavors, having those nice berry, tropical fruit notes, still letting you know it's like an 11.7 just by having that slight booziness mixing in with the malts and everything. Yeah, absolutely fantastic. Would definitely get this a glass of this by itself after having it on a flight, and probably getting a couple 4-packs to bring home, because that's how much I'm enjoying this. So what is my final rating on this guy going to be? Everything in here about it is what I look for in a triple IPA. The cryo just makes it that much creamier and kind of makes those natural notes from the hops just that more pungent, that more in your face, which I always really enjoy when somebody cryo hops their stuff, because you know that it's just going to be flavor in your mouth hole, and it's going to be an awesome experience. So I think I'm going to give this a solid, like, let's see, I'm going to give this like an 8.75 out of 10. Really good. Almost a 9 out of 10. Probably really, really close to a 9 out of 10. So I think 8.75 is where I'm going to leave this one. Very, very good. Would highly recommend this one if you can get your hands on it. You can either go over to the brewery and find it on tap, which I think would be the best experience you could have with this one, or you can go over there, grab a couple 4-packs of it. They probably have it available to go as well. Or you might be able to find it at liquor stores or bottle shops around like the Pennsylvania, D.C. area. So you just got to keep an eye out if you're in that area. Who knows? But other than that, yeah, absolutely fantastic. Really, really big fan of this one, and I would highly, highly recommend it. But other than that, that's pretty much what I have for you guys today. So thank you everybody in chat for hanging out. You guys are awesome. Also, if you want to kind of join the community when it comes to the social media aspect of beer, make sure to get yourself on Untapped. It's a great platform when it comes to just, you can check in beers, talk to other beer drinkers. Kind of, they have other stuff to where they show you local verified like Untapped venues when it comes to either being a bar that has craft beer, or have it being like a beer house where they have hundreds of different stuff but they don't brew their own, or shows you local breweries in your area as well. So really, really cool situation over there. They give like a bunch of different like coupons and stuff for different services. That's how I was introduced to Tavour, was from Untapped. They also have a bunch of different like other beer services when it comes to like a beer creator kind of thing. There's a bunch of them out there. And you also get discounts every once in a while for when it comes to buying some Untapped glassware. Their glassware is awesome. Absolutely love it. You can buy like the 5-pack where it kind of gives you every kind of situation of glasses you can ask for when it comes to like a Pilsner glass, a regular pint glass, 2 sizes of tulip glasses. Really, really cool situation. But other than that, I think that's pretty much it, ladies and gentlemen. So again, thank you, Rain Chat, for hanging out. You guys are awesome. If you're watching on the replay, let me know what you're drinking while you watch. If you're drinking anything while you watch my stuff, I want to on the comments below. Also, back to Untapped. If you want to shoot me a friend request, I want to see what other people are drinking. Along with, if you want to see more about what I'm drinking, shoot me a friend request. My link to my profile is down in the description below. And yeah, I think that's pretty much it, ladies and gentlemen. So I'm gonna say it like I always say it. Again, thank you everybody in chat for hanging out. You guys are awesome. And if you're going to drink responsibly. Don't drink and drive. And cheers, everybody. Hope you guys had a fantastic weekend.